Hey guys, it's a grumpy old guy gaming. Hope you're doing well out there. It's certainly an excellent day for me, feeling very, very good, and a big part of it is kind of seeing sort of the overarching theme that I'm hinting at with the title of this video. Um, haven't quite got the phrasing right in my head. I'll apologize in advance, the brain's a little scrambled, but there seems to be this new influx of players, a new wave, if you will, if that's not too on the nose as far as puns go, coming into the game. And I think, A, it's really awesome to see this game literally rising from the ashes. Coming up on 15 years since its release, I believe. The anniversary is this month. But also seeing this community really come together and as it grows, stay really close and really interactive. Just super all around stuff. Here you can see I'm playing Grumpo Guy, my long arm. There's another long arm in the party named Kigo. And again, apologies on pronunciation. If you guys have watched me before, you know pronouncing names is not my strong suit and never will be. I believe he goes by Kitio on Discord. At least that's how he's known on the Fragment Resurgence Discord. Here I'm going to pause and just sort of take a look back and remember how frustrating this mimic battle was for all of us. We were in voice chat, which is why the audio is a little more lacking than usual for the game sounds and everything, and man, that was a tense one for us. But Kigo is being played by Kitio, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, but more than likely not, and John Manassi, Minace, God, I really should have checked with phonetic pronunciation. I'm sorry, guys, I'm terrible with names, but John is playing the book, the Wave Master, and we're all partying together. I'm going to link their channels in the description here. I know John's started doing some fragment uploads the last few days, and that's really awesome to see. I love to see when other people put fragment stuff up. It's kind of cool to see things from their perspective. Of course, Slishstrel posted Dow's capture of the Sports Day event we ran, and they had captured using the Coldbird interface. And it just gave this great compare and contrast, and you had that great HD capture of it. That was really fun for me to watch. Here we're just kind of running around this fireboard, getting them some levels. Neat thing here, this chest spawned and it's buried halfway in the ground. Thankfully it was a trap chest, or else we would have all probably missed it. I only really noticed it because it pretty much spawned at my feet there. Coming up on another battle here, got Guardians and Mimics. Trying to let these guys get some hits in, but at the same time don't want to leave the Mimics run too rampant thanks to some of the shenanigans we had seen earlier. So we got a fair amount of portals left, about 7 by my count. And trying to just get through the field here. I really got to start taking notes when I do these captures a day or two in advance. Don't know why I checked in the inventory there. This is one of 3 fields we ended up running that day. So I guess I'm covered on material for the week. I just gonna parcel it out and do some commentary easy enough. There are red worms taken down. Certainly not as daunting in party as it would be to solo those things. Of course, that flame attack can take you out in a moment if you're not careful. But having that backup to help you out if you get in trouble, or at least throw some support damage, always, always key. And remember, all you gotta do is hit online. One successful, bit of damage, even if it's 1 point, and you get full experience for the kill. Moving along here. Had another battle pop up. I was woefully out of position, and these guys take down the red worm before I even arrive. Awesome for them. As it is, I'm just kind of escort duty on this one anyway, and don't know how this comes off in the overall inflection, but I just want to state it plainly here. Probably one of my favorite things to do because A, I'm helping other players out, and B, I get to sort of sit back and relax and enjoy the run. A lot of times when you're sitting there and trying to level, you're so focused on what you're doing or just trying to stay alive, it can get pretty stressful at times. It could get a little tense. Here, my main job is just to make sure everyone's set, ready to go. Actually be doing a bit of leveling. I think we all advanced at least one level throughout this evening's runs. Certainly plan on posting the rest of them. Do hope my footage was clear on it. I remember a couple times frame rate was getting a little choppy for me. Had a lot of things going on. But yeah, there were a few things I wanted to address. I wanted to do this capture. Here's another red worm. God, you just love those elemental hits, don't you? That was what, maybe 10, 20 mana on that spell and over 500 damage. Just crazy. Coming up on a couple guardians here. Oh, I know, another thing I wanted to bring up. So it seems every day something new in Fragment is coming up, and I don't mean new like, hey, somebody got a new wand, or hey, somebody built a new field. Came home today to find out that the ranking in the guilds went live. So guilds and guild shops are now a thing. I remember when I started playing, and it was only a few months ago. I only started myself, maybe early August, perhaps the last couple days of July, like middle of summer I started playing, and back then it was, well, here's the game, it's playable. There's been some of it translated, but there was no real discussion of functional bulletin boards or any of this stuff, and it's amazing to me that these guys have gone back and worked their technical wizardry, if you will, got things up and running. There we clear out the last portal, and just sort of restocking, getting ourselves situated again. Pretty much ran out of buffs, so it's time to at least speed boost back up before we head, towards the dungeon. Of course, just because we're out of portals doesn't mean we're really out of the woods yet. With a very few exceptions, most boards, you gotta be on the lookout for wandering monsters in the field. Always a pain, especially if you're trying to activate a Spring of Mist. No spring to be found here. Would have probably dried up. Gotta admit, the fire fields are not my favorite. They're always sort of bland looking, but then you get like dungeon entrances like this with that cool bluish green on the inside, and it just makes for great color contrast. Especially after your eyes just absorb so much of the orange, you've been looking at it so long it just sort of muddles. So a nice little break there, and it lets you know you're in for something a little different when you go into the dungeon, which we will do right on the other end of this little waiting period. See, told you that wouldn't take long. Gonna go ahead and pop a fairy's orb open here for the first floor. And we're all just chasing along. Coming up to this first portal here, and we got some hungry grass and mimic. And of course, the worst thing about that is Kigo gets the old sleep and confusion. Fortunately, the sleep lasts a bit longer than the confusion by my count. At least that's been my experience in general. So I guess if you're going to get one, getting them both at the same time is probably the best case scenario, so you could get the confusion out of the way and when you wake up, heal and go. The worst is when you just get done with one status and before you could do anything to better your position, be it heal or attack, the other one gets you. Little bit of a treasure room here on the side, a lot of breakable items, a lot of chests. Generally don't take those when I'm in parties because I do so much soloing for captures for things like Weekend Warrior and my Fragment Friday uploads. I know it seems a little weird to some people, and I know Necro in particular, was like, when we were playing, was like, you could take some of these, and I'm like, yeah, I know, but I get enough stuff. For me, the fun is in the run. Getting our boosts back up here. And we're going to go into one of those little 90-degree turn rooms that I almost always turned the wrong way with in my earlier uploads. But first, a little pep rally to get all of our resistances up, all of our attacks up. It's one of the things, if you really like the little icons, then boosting yourself to heck and back with the classic interface here is going to be right up your alley because you end up with more badges than a scout. I think we're all sitting on 7 at this point. For me, it's a little distracting. It's a little cluttered. But not enough to go back to the other interface. I know there's some strong feelings, certain ways about it. I don't want to get into that stuff. I wasn't around for most of it. For me, the fun is in the playing, and however people enjoy the game, that's best for them. Finish off this encounter pretty quick. And get ourselves to the next room. Little semicircle with a portal in the middle. Let's see what we pull here. Seeing hungry grass, seeing a guardian, seeing some big old trees. Take care of that grass quick. Now it just leaves the guardian, and we're gonna hack that down, and another magically appearing tree pops it for an elemental hit. So yeah, the book definitely on A game with those. Really neat to see party dynamics form as you go too. How you would play something as a solo completely different to how you play with like a wave master. Things like that are intriguing to me. They add depth to your character where in a game you may just run up and hit the thing in front of you every time. There are certain times where, especially in a situation where you want somebody else to get a hit in first, you stand back, you take the hit. Maybe you play the healer more. It's those interesting little differences to me that sort of make or break these things. Just all sorts of crazy damage being thrown out here. Everybody's getting their shots in. Little dead end section. I believe they're debating at this point who's taking the chest, and I'm ready to move on after a couple steps. Dramatic slow walk. Already cleared the first floor. Felt like nothing. Honestly, this whole run breezed by. Not the longest run I've ever posted by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think this video is going to go very far over the 20-minute mark, but I did want to get it out there. One, because we've been on kind of a roll here. Been trying to upload just about every chance I get, keep this streak going, and two, because I really wanted to mention how cool it was to see more people joining and more people recording, get the word out, get more get more eyeballs on this thing, if you will. Little room here with one door out the other side, so we're going to pop into it and wind up in another little room. Chest is taken, we got a door either way, and this is where I do one really smart thing and finally pop a fairy's orb, and then do one really dumb thing and can't figure out which way to go, even though I've had two people say, hey dummy, this way. Just got a little turned around in my head there. Here we come up on a guardian that's gone before I could even say the word guardian. So we finished off that room, got to do a little mini backtrack, which doesn't hurt at all on a floor like this because all the rooms are so compact and close together. I mean, I've seen floors cover more space in like 3 rooms in some dungeons. And here we got 6. Okay, so it's not a huge difference, but you get my point. Come up on a flame heads here, first one of these we've seen in this dungeon. They're one of those enemies that look really cool and sort of intimidating at first, and they could deal some damage, don't get me wrong, but not much defense to them. Just go up, pop them in the snout. You saw just high damage numbers from everyone on that one, and it's not like we were, scaling up or using super powerful spells on that. Sometimes, as the old saying goes, the bark is worse than the bite on some of these monsters. Taking a little pause here before we get going. Good time to grab a drink, I guess. Then we're just going to zip over to the other side of this little V-shaped room and take our stairs down to floor 3. So yeah, one more floor to go here. It's only a 3-level dungeon. Nice and quick, and made even quicker by the fact that this group was just dealing mad damage the entire time. Got a portal here in the middle of this sort of big hallway widening out in the middle there. And we got another flameheads. Don't take this one out nearly as quickly, and Kigo nearly pays the price for it there. Took a big hit from that sucker. But we get him healed up, we get it taken down, and I'm eventually going to put a speed boost back on myself. Yeah, it took till me moving after the combat to realize that had worn off. Kind of moving through, we're a little less aggressive on the boosting. We just kind of want to get the speed boost up and keep rolling. Here we're up against a red worm, nothing we haven't faced before, and it goes down nice and easy. Get a little experience there. Looks like Kigo's opening up a trap chest, and then we are on our way to the next. Yet another compact floor, and this one just sort of flowed in a linear order. No backtracking necessary, just one room to the next, and all these encounters are on the simpler side. One large enemy, and there you go. Sort of a blessing in disguise for a party. You don't have to sit there and split up resources. You could all attack the same thing. If you're able to do an awakening, this is the perfect spot to do one in a battle like this, because you're all automatically targeting the thing. All you have to do is get your gems built up and have enough skill points ready to cast the awakening. Finally got to do one. I got to do my first awakening with these guys. They were generous enough to help me get a few of them off. Actually, I think we ended up doing 3 successful. Those will be coming in later videos. This is about all for this one as we reach the statue room. Again, just wanted to say thank you. Again, I'm going to link both of these guys' channels in the description. This has been a Grumpy Old Guy Gaming. Thank you all very much for watching, and hopefully I catch you on sometime in the world of .hack fragment.